Hello everyone, Reginald Scott here, welcome to the video. Great to see you all again, hope you're all well. I'm not too bad myself, thank you very much for asking. And today is a bit of a warm one. I reckon it's about 35 to 34 degrees Celsius. For those using or still using imperial measurements, I think that's going to be maybe 5/8 for Fahrenheit. Great to have you all back watching the video, but you are fantastic viewers, those of you who are fairly regular, and I really appreciate your point of view and your input and a lot of the knowledge that you come with that, you know, I simply don't know. It's been really educating for me listening to your guys' opinions, so please do keep them coming in the comments, and of course don't forget to like and subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. Send the $1 million check in the mail, all that kind of thing. Right, today's subject is bikes, but specifically modern bikes, and how modern bikes are basically reaching peak stupidity. They're not quite there yet, but they will be soon. You know, another video for my disdain of modern bike tech.
You're not a car person if you value having the latest technology above everything else. If you get excited about having to do less behind the wheel, then you are not a car person by any stretch of the imagination. You're a tech person. End of discussion.
And for those of you out there who accuse me of being a Luddite, you know, an anti-technology person, that couldn't be further from the truth. I like technology. Especially when it makes my life better. Yes, I love technology. I think my iPhone is the best thing since sliced bread. I really love it. You know, obviously I don't like being spied on, but technology-wise and how useful it is, how it's enabled me to really run this channel on the go and produce better, higher quality resolution videos and edit almost everywhere. It's fantastic. So yeah, I don't dislike technology. What I dislike is labeling something technology and then just assuming that that makes things better. What do I mean by all this? Well, if something deteriorates my quality of life or reduces my ability to achieve what I want to achieve, then I don't see it as an innovation or improvement. You know, it's not innovation. It might be a technology, but assuming that a technology, you know, the word or the phrase, is automatically a positive thing without first really analyzing what you get from it and the negatives that come with it is ridiculous. Like I say, it's not innovation, it's just complication. And I've done videos on this with regards to tubeless tires, how for me they make no sense, that there would be more pain for me, more commitment, more expense, more hair pulling than I really want, and so I don't bother with them. Let's just go down this little hill first, and then I'll continue talking to you. So, to illustrate my points anyway, I had a bike in the shop the other day. Well, I've got it in the shop right now. It's still hanging on my wall. And it came in for a bit of servicing. And it's a giant Propel disc. SRAM axis electronic group set, 12 speed. So it has got every piece of technology on it that I dislike. Everything about it is like my nemesis, you know, what I despise from the cycling industry. Carbon bikes, aero bikes, disc brake bikes, electronic group sets, tubeless tyres, integrated cables, the lot, the absolute works. And this customer rides, or did ride, or does ride, should I say, a giant TCR Advanced, with rim brakes in Ultegra, okay, mechanical Ultegra. And they've been riding this thing for, well, ever since they started riding. And you know what, the TCR, as goes carbon bikes, is pretty damn good. If I was forced to choose a road bike, I would choose the giant TCR, you know, with rim brakes, if I had to ride a carbon frame, all right? The reason for that is the handling is very good. It's stiff where it needs to be stiff, but it's not uncomfortable. It's quite a pleasant bike to ride. But it's also quite nimble, you know, it's a good accelerating bike, and it's very light. So really, the giant TCR was one of the best, and in my opinion, the best carbon road bike for the price that you could buy. Okay, so he was riding that, and a year ago, it was about a year ago, he said to me, oh, I'm thinking about buying a new bike. I want a new bike. And I advised him, I said, look, new bikes are expensive. Why don't you just change the frame? What I recommend is a Lightspeed. Of course, I'm going to say that because all that time ago, I was still trying to sell Lightspeed. And I also believe that to be the truth. I believe the Lightspeeds are, you know, an upgrade on what he had. You know, there isn't really much above what he had, in my opinion, from the carbon world. Not without spending ridiculous amounts of money. This hill is an absolute killer. It looks like a wall when you come up to it. So forgive me if I don't talk for a second, because I'm not going to be able to. You have to get out of the saddle and just completely grind. That is steep. Ah. Right. Ooh. Ah, bloody hell. I'm out of practice. Yeah, so I thought my recommendation was pretty good, because you'd only need to buy the frame and we could transfer most of the other components. And he decided, he had his heart set on another giant from the local giant shop. He wanted a Propel, and he was going to get a disc Propel with an E-group set. And I was like, uh-oh. Nice hill coming up here. Excuse me, gonna have a drink. Oh, that's better. So anyway, I gave the guy my advice and I said, look, that bike, if you switch from your TCR, is going to be significantly heavier because it's an aero bike and it's got an E-group set, in this case SRAM Rival, which is very heavy, and it's got disc brakes, so it's going to be a lot heavier. You can forget your 7 point something kg TCR, right? Second thing is, it's an aero bike, so you do a lot of racing, I said, long distance racing, and he's not a young guy, he's older than me, and I said the Propel is going to be significantly less comfortable. Okay? And as a result, you're going to get fatigued, and you're going to get backache, and you're going to be miserable. And that's not what we want. And I said the third thing is, it's going to be expensive. It's going to be very expensive to run. The parts are going to be problematic to get. Enough space? No? Okay. It's a wide enough corner, missus. So, yeah, I said all round, it's going to cost you a load of money. You're not going to like it. It's going to be slow. It's going to be sluggish accelerating. It's going to be hard uphill. And it's going to be uncomfortable. I did warn him. I warned him. I did warn him. Not because I'm a salesman. No. But because I genuinely believe what I say. And I generally care about a customer that I've known for 6 years. Anyway, he ignored me, as many people do. And he went out and he bought this Propel. And he rode it for about a week. Okay? And after about a week, he texted me and said, oh, I'd like a bike fit. And I thought, oh, of course, he wants a bike fit for his Propel, because he's not had a bike fit on that one yet. I've done his bike fit on his TCR. And, you know, all is good, so it must be for the Propel. He turns up with the TCR. And I said, oh, I thought you wanted a bike fit. And he said, yeah, I do, on the Propel. Sorry, on the TCR. I said, but you already had one on the TCR. And he said, yeah, but I'm planning to race with the TCR this year again. So I'd like to, you know, make my fit a bit more aggressive. I was like, fair enough. So I got him on the stand and I did his fit. And while we were chatting to each other, a few things he revealed to me. And the first thing he revealed to me is that he did not like his new bicycle.
Yes. What? You don't say. You don't say. You don't say.
You know, oh, as if anyone could have predicted that. I said, oh, pray tell, why do you not like your new bike? He said, it's not very comfortable and it feels very heavy. And I said, okay. And, you know, I kept it under my hat. I was like, fair enough, that's what I actually told you, but, you know, never mind. You haven't you haven't felt the third part yet, which is the expensive part, but that's coming later, don't worry, folks. Call that foreshadowing for the story later. Anyway, and then he said to me, now get this, he said, I'm thinking about buying another bike. And I said, oh, what do you think you're buying this time? And he said, oh, I've always wanted a titanium bike. And I had to bite my lip. I bite my tongue or bite my cheek or whatever the expression is, because I was like, ooh, you know, somebody has been trying to convince you to do that for years and failed miserably to impart to you information that you would believe. And now, after all of this, after he wasted several $1,000s on this new bike, he's now regretting his decision, and he decided he wanted a Thai bike. However, he said, I don't have the money for it at the moment, probably won't for a long time. And me personally, I've stopped selling titanium bikes. I've stopped selling bikes altogether because, number one, there's no market in Brunei. The bottom fell out the market a while ago. And two, selling light speeds was about as easy as selling ice to Eskimos, or Inuits, if you want to be politically correct. So that's where we were. And then he went away and he did race on his TCR and he did well as usual. He then, only a few days ago, sent me the Propel, and I haven't seen that Propel in over like a year. Like, I was going to say over a year at least. And I asked him about it and he said, well, it's just been sitting in the corner of a room and it was covered in dust and cat hair. So it was up to me to make this thing roadworthy. So what was wrong with it after a year just sitting? Well, the first thing is I tried to change the gears, and of course the gears didn't work because they're batteries and they'd gone dead. So I said to the customer, do you have the battery charger with you? And he said, oh no, I forgot to bring that, because people don't think about it. And so he had to go all the way home and come all the way back to the shop later in the day just to drop the battery charger. That was wasted time for me and wasted time for him. And then when I'd spent a while charging both batteries, which you have to do one at a time because the charge is only for one battery at a time, I started working on it and it still wouldn't shift. And I realised that the button cells in the shifters were dead as well. So hopped in my car, drove down to the shop, bought some batteries, came back, put those in, and I got the rear to start working. You know, it flashed solid bright green. It paired with the shifters all good, so the rear gears were working. And then I tried with the front derailleur wasn't working still, and it was flashing yellow, sort of a light green. And I checked it out online, and turns out a lot of people were saying this is a fault, and there's only two ways to resolve it. One is to send it back to the manufacturer. Great, because we live in the middle of nowhere and that's going to be difficult. And two was to download the app onto your phone and try and update it. Loads of people online saying they tried, it didn't work. Anywho, so that was the group set. After 1 year of just sitting around, not functioning. And as you know, I have 4 bicycles, and any one of those, oh, look at the lizard. Poor fella. Very recently hit by a car. I love those things, such a shame. Such a beautiful animal, in my opinion. So I've got 4 bikes. I could leave any one of them for many years just sitting around and they'd be all completely fine. They'd be rideable again, blow the dust off them. They would be rideable immediately because my chain is oiled, my bottom bracket is full of grease, and my gears are just wires. Those cables are going to be absolutely fine. You know, if you're worried, you'd oil them first. So, brilliant. Electronic group sets, marvellous. Then the tyres. Now, tyres are tubeless and hookless, believe it or not. Hookless, tubeless tyres, and the rear one was flat because he got a small puncture. The puncture hadn't sealed, and of course the sealant, after being in there for over a year, had just, well, stopped being runny. It turned into a nice little pile of mush. So the tyre wasn't seating or sealing, so he asked me to change it for an inner tube, which I did. But I am going to warn him that now he's got inner tubes in there, he can only use tubeless tyres. He can't switch to clincher tyres because of his hookless rims. Yeah, so he's stuck basically buying hookless, tubeless tyres, and they are more expensive than clinchers, even though he's now running tubes, which is a problem as well because the tubeless tyres have got really poor puncture resistance, because the theory behind them is that the sealant will puncture the hole. So tubeless tyres are actually more vulnerable to getting punctured, but normally it doesn't matter. There you go, it's really the worst of both worlds. You'd be better off with a clincher system or better off going full tubeless, but you know, that's what he wanted to do, so that's what I said he could do. You know, I said you can, for now, you can just stick a tube in it if you want, if you don't want to go looking for sealant and bothering with that stuff, because yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Before you ask, no, I don't stock sealant in my shop because I don't sell tubeless tyres. Most people here in Brunei are still running tubes like me, and I'm encouraging people to switch to TPU, not to go tubeless, because I think TPU is a better system. But that's just me. And then we come to the frame, so servicing the frame and servicing the parts of the frame. Obviously it's all hydraulic hoses. The headset is behind like a multi-layered, extremely complex and proprietary system, and it makes, you know, servicing the headset bearings almost impossible without doing a very lengthy service, disconnecting all the hoses, rebleeding the system. And then, like I say, because it's an aero bike, it's extremely uncomfortable and it's, you know, very heavy. So how heavy is this bike exactly? Well, it's the best part of 10 kilos. Like I say, his previous bike, I believe, was around 7.4 kilos, if I remember correctly. His new bike is 9.8. 9.8 kilos. Unfreaking believable. And so he's invested a large amount of money and a lot of time for a bike which is heavier, definitely slower, especially uphill and accelerating, less comfortable, less easy to maintain, and more expensive to maintain. That's what he's paid his money for, rather than sticking with what he had or actually improving what he had, which, like I say, I did offer. So there is the story. Now, all of that, in my opinion, is utterly abysmal, and I encourage everyone to avoid buying these kind of bikes whenever possible. It is a foolhardy thing to do. Bikes are about to reach peak stupidity. Modern bikes, they're about to reach peak stupidity. What is peak stupidity for modern road bikes? There's only one thing left for them to do, and that is they're going to make the brakes electronic. Now, how they're going to do this, I really don't know, because somebody demonstrated one on GCN the other day, a concept of electronic braking. And this is incredibly stupid, because when the batteries die, and they will die, it's a binary choice, right? It's either one or two. You can't have more than two choices. They're going to be on or they're going to be off. So if they leave the natural mechanical state of these electronic brakes as always open unless commanded to close electronically, right, then you'll be coming down a mountain at 70 kilometers an hour, and all of a sudden you won't have any braking at all. That'll be it. It'll be done, finished, gone. And if you have a mechanical backup system in place, that would make the system incredibly heavy, right? Because then you've got to run hydraulics or cables to back up the wireless electronic system, which makes literally no sense. So, no brakes, that's one choice. The second choice is that when the electronic system fails, you're left with brakes on. So you'll be coming down a mountain at 70 kilometers an hour, and all of a sudden your wheels will lock up, because the default is always on, and unless commanded electronically to open. So what's going to be the default? And what's the only logical solution that I can see in that situation is always on, and have some kind of pneumatic piston that decreases the speed at which the calipers close, so that they will close slowly over time. So you'll get a warning from your system, your brakes are about to fail, and then their brakes will automatically start to close, and it will come on gradually. Now, it's not much help to you if you're running out of road that these things are coming on gradually, but at least it's not going to throw you over the handlebars. It's going to go slowly, slowly, slowly until it locks out. Again, there's no way of telling whether your speed and your body weight and the elevation you're on is going to be favorable to those brakes closing on you. It probably won't be. You're probably going to end up over the bars anyway. Okay, but maybe they've decided that that's more favorable than having brakes that don't close at all. But the sheer idea of this is insane, absolutely insane. Now, why would they press ahead with this technology? What would make sense in pressing forward with this level of ludicrous technology? Well, I think it's quite simple. And you're going to call me a conspiracy theorist, and I don't care. Because there's two very big reasons why electronic shifting, very integrated, computer integrated bikes and electronic braking will be the thing. This is why I believe it. Because of control, right? the company, and by extension the government's control over your vehicle. If everybody signs up to this, and a lot of people are signing up to electronic shifting, despite my protestations, despite my complaints. Is that a word, protestations? It might be. I'll have to look it up later. Despite my protest, so many people are signing up to e-group sets that are integrated with smart apps on your phone. And that means one thing and one thing only. When they have enough of the market captured, and when enough of the market are no longer producing mechanical group sets and mechanical systems, and everything is heavily reliant on electronics, batteries and computer control, they will be able to ask you for anything they want. Let me put it this way. You spend 10 grand on a bicycle, and then they say, in order to ride this bike, you've got to pay a subscription fee to keep up with the updates on the system. Right, the subscription fee is $1 a month. You're going to pay it because you want to ride your $10,000 bicycle that you just paid for, right? If you don't, well, guess what? Your gears stop working because you didn't update and because you didn't pay the subscription. Just like if you don't pay the subscription to your Amazon or your Netflix, they'll take it away from you. Or if you don't pay your water bill, they'll turn your water off, right? It's going to be the same bloody thing. So you'll start paying, and then it'll go from $1 to $2, and then it'll go from $2 to $5, and then before you know it, you're paying $15 a month on top of what you already paid for your bike, on top of maintenance costs, just to ride your bike. What are you going to do when your brakes are electronic? All they're going to do is shut your brakes off and say, oh, look at that, your bike don't work anymore. If you'd like to unlock your brakes, please spend $15 a month for the brake update package. Don't pay up and you don't ride your bike. That is why one of the major reasons I'm against this technology innovation, right? Because all it is turning you into a slave to that technology. I am free right now. My bike is completely free. If I throw away this computer, I can still ride this bike. No problem. Absolutely no problem at all. Let's try and get through here just at the right time. Perfect. Another advantage of riding a bike. Now, on top of that, there's government control. One of the reasons why government wants everyone to switch to electronic cars is because they can be monitored, tracked, controlled, and shut off when they want them to be. And if you bring about another scam like the scamdemic, that will just result in the government having total control about where you can go at any time of day or night. If they don't want you going out, they'll simply shut your car down and you won't be able to do anything about it, right? So they want to be able to do that with everything. And right now, bicycles are a problem because bicycles aren't e-bicycles, or they are now, but you know what I mean. Bicycles are free. You can just jump on it and go wherever the hell you like. And they don't want that. So they will control you. Because even if even if SRAM or Shimano wants you to ride your bike, the government will say to them, oh, do you mind shutting down all the brake calipers on everybody's bike, please, during this lockdown today? It's just until we can flatten the curve, and we don't want people going outside, We don't want people getting vitamin D and exercise. Oh, good heavens, no. We want everybody sitting on the sofa eating crisps and watching the BBC. Oh, look, there's another pansexual episode of Doctor Who on. Oh, wonderful. Anyway, that is my belief about the bikes and bike industry and where things are going. Tell me what you think. Am I completely crazy?
No, you're not mad, are you?
Yes, I'm very mad, thank you. Mad! That's the words I know.
We'll see, won't we? Only time will tell. You know, we can't both be wrong, can we? If you disagree with me. So we shall see, won't we? And with that, folks, thanks for watching. When you're out riding, do stay safe, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.